paid for. When you think girl-child education, think Muvi Christian Academy. Muvi Christian Academy, excellence through Christian education.
Good evening and welcome to the Muvi TV News. It is indeed the 15th of January 2026. The headlines. ECZ urges voters and political players to emulate Chawama's calm campaigns. Zaneswa praises move to table free education policy bill, calls for quality learning. Molenga urges Kasama voters to choose leaders based on development record. ZMA orders all fuel tanker trucks to comply with metrology verification rules. And now with the details, my name is Kondwelani Jose. Police in Chama district have launched investigations into the alleged murder of an 80-year-old man of Chiyunga village, Chief Kambombo, who reportedly died after being poisoned by his relatives on suspicion of practicing witchcraft. According to a report recorded at Chama police station on 14th January 2026, at around 0740 hours, the incident occurred between 13th January 2026 at approximately 13 hours in Chiyunga village and 14th January 2026 around midnight at Chama District Hospital. The deceased, identified as Saiton Mkandawire, is alleged to have been poisoned by his biological sons, daughters, grandson, and son-in-law after accusations that he had bewitched his grandson's wife, who was reportedly experiencing difficulties breastfeeding her infant. Eastern Province Police Commanding Officer Robertson Mwemba, in an interview, disclosed that on 13th January 2026 at around 6 hours, the deceased had gone to apply fertilizer in his tobacco field with his wife, Timalizie Zimba. At about 9 hours, their grandson, Yesani Piri, reportedly arrived at the field with his weeks-old baby and handed the child to the grandmother, claiming that his wife was unable to breastfeed due to lack of milk, which he attributed to witchcraft allegedly committed by the deceased.
It's just a confirmation that an 80-year-old man was killed by his children on some allegation that he is a wizard. One of his children has a baby who failed to suck from the mother. So the baby was taken where he was with the wife. They dumped that children. They gave that old man some condition that this baby should start sucking from the mother. or else something was going to be done. Straight to the point, they organized some tablets that are used to preserve maize. That was the tablet that was given to the old man. They waited not until he was no more. The body is still in the mortuary. They haven't yet buried. But as police, we are not relaxing. My officers are on the ground. We want to ensure that these people are picked. We are not relaxing. They will be picked because that is an offense. There is no way that because of some witch finder or witch doctor who came from Malawi told them to say, you have a problem in the family because of your father. Now, does it mean that if somebody is old, that means there's a wizard? Not at all. It will mean now all people who are old are supposed to die. Because even his children, those who eliminated him, very soon one of them will be old. That means that he is going to die, also he should die. The answer is no. The law will visit you and not going to relax, not until those people are picked. I know they are mourning. Sorry for that. They are mourning their father who they killed. It will mean now as a police also will use a supersonic move to pick them.
Minister of Labour and Social Security Brenda Tambatamba has opened the tripartite consultative Labour Council meeting, emphasizing the need for pension reforms to improve the lives of workers and retirees. The meeting will consider 4 bills aimed at modernizing Zambia's pension system, including the National Pension Scheme Bill, Public Service Pensions Fund Bill, Local Authorities Superannuation Fund Bill, and Pension Scheme Regulation Bills. Speaking during the opening of the Tripartite Consultative Labour Council meeting in Lusaka on Thursday, Ms. Tambatamba urged delegates to approach discussions with objectivity and a sense of national responsibility, stating that the Council will also discuss Zambia's prospective ratification of ILO Convention 102, a landmark instrument on social security. She highlighted the country's readiness, especially in areas like medical care, old age benefits, and employment injury benefits. Ms. Tambatamba reaffirmed government's commitment to ensuring the strategy delivers practical outcomes for informal economy workers, aligning with national development priorities and international obligations. Speaking earlier, the International Labour Organization ILO has commended Zambia's efforts to reform its pension system, emphasizing the need for alignment with international standards. ILO Country Director Wellington Chibebe highlighted the importance of a comprehensive pension system that provides income security for all, including workers in the informal sector.
TCLC has commenced its first session of 2026 with the theme of strengthening partnerships and advancing social security reforms. The meeting will consider 4 bills aimed at modernizing Zambia's pension system, including the National Pension Scheme Bill, Public Service Pensions Fund Bill, Local Authorities and Superannuation Fund Bill, and Pension Scheme Regulations Bill. Minister of Labour and Security Brenda Tambatamba opened the meeting, emphasizing the need for pension reforms to improve the lives of workers and retirees.
We are talking about building competent labour and industrial relations institutions, systems institutions. We belabor on the challenges that we still encounter in delivering to the decent work agenda because we are not yet up to competency, the levels of competency that our institutions are supposed to operate with.
Speaking during the opening of the Tripartite Consultative Labour Council meeting in Lusaka on Thursday, Ms. Tambatamba urged delegates to approach discussions with objectivity and a sense of national responsibility, stating that the Council will also discuss Zambia's prospective ratification of ILO Convention 102, a landmark instrument on social security. Speaking earlier, the International Labour Organizations commended Zambia's efforts to reform its pension systems, emphasizing on the need for alignment with international standards.
We are encouraged that the TCLC will also consider the recommendation to ratify Convention 102, which is critical. In support of this process, the ILO has provided both technical and financial assistance, including conducting comprehensive study and gap analysis of Zambia's social security laws against Convention 102, identifying compliance in 4 branches: old age, invalidity, medical care, and employment injury.
ILU Country Director Willington Chibebe highlighted the importance of comprehensive pension system that provides income security for all, including workers in the informal economy. ZCTU President Blake Mulala and Zambia's Federation of Employees ZFE President Myra Ngoma has this to say.
It is our view as employers that taking care of workers must not only be during their working life. There must be also a credible system of ensuring that the future of workers in terms of their livelihood post-employment is taken care of as well.
On the issue of lump sum benefits, while we acknowledge efforts to address this gap, the current proposal largely amounts to refunds or partial withdrawals, which may undermine retirement income security, especially when taken close to retirement. The labor movement reiterates its call for a pension framework that guarantees a meaningful lump sum benefit as part of a defined benefit or hybrid system.
Zanamaga President Mupila Kameya and Zambia Micro and Small Traders Foundation Corporation Zamasat President Teddy Sinkala appreciating the government's engagement with the informal economy organizations. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, Zambia Micro and Small Traders Foundation Corporation, ZAMAST, and Zanamanga have signed a memorandum of understanding to implement the national strategy on extension of social security coverages to the formal economy, aiming to expand access to social security protection for informal economy workers. Grace Mabo, Muvi TV News in Lusaka.
The Zambia Metrology Agency, ZMA, has issued a directive to all petroleum product transporters and oil marketing companies operating in Zambia, mandating compliance with metrology control requirements for all ton trucks. According to the Metrology Act No. 6 of 2017 and the Metrology Measuring Instruments Regulation Statutory Instrument No. 55 of 2021, all tanker trucks transporting petroleum products must hold a valid verification certificate issued by ZMA. Speaking to Muvi TV News, ZMA Executive Director Humphrey Nkovani said this requirement applies to all petroleum tanker trucks, whether used for local or cross-border transportation, and includes tanker trucks registered under the Energy Regulation Act 2019 or any other written law. He adds that all tanker trucks operating in Zambia must hold a valid verification certificate issued by the Zambia Metrology Agency, stating that the agency has communicated to all fuel terminals, commercial depots, and retail sites to ensure that only compliant tanker trucks are permitted to load or offload petroleum products within Zambia. Mr. Nkomani further warned that any tanker truck that does not possess a valid verification certificate issued by the agency shall be deemed non-compliant and shall not be allowed to carry fuel for commercial purposes.
The Zambia Metrology Agency hereby formally notifies all the petroleum products transporters and oil marketing companies that in line with the law, in line with the Metrology Act No. 6 of 2017 and the Statutory Instrument 55 of 2021, is a requirement of the law that all the tanker trucks that are used to carry petroleum products in this country must be verified by the Zambia Metrology Agency on an annual basis. In view of that, would like to appeal to all the transporters to ensure that all the tanker trucks are presented to the Zambia Metro Agency. In the same line, we've notified all the sites, commercial sites, depots, retail sites, to ensure that they only load and offload tanker trucks that are verified by the Zambia Metro Agency. Further, I would like to inform and guide the transporters, those trucks which are already verified by the Zambia Metro Agency, that they should load only according to the capacity indicated on the certificate of verification for each compartment. They shouldn't load below or over it. This is very, very important for the inspection and monitoring of compliance during loading and after loading. This, therefore, like to appeal to all the stakeholders to...
Electorates in Kasama District, Northern Province, have been called upon to allow the government's policy record to guide their choice of leadership as the district heads towards the forthcoming mayoral by-election. Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry, Chipoka Mulenga, says the current administration has demonstrated commitment to national and local development through people-centered policies that are already improving the lives of ordinary citizens. Speaking to residents of Lukasha constituency, Mulenga urged voters to critically assess candidates based on their ability to advance development and align with the government's vision rather than being swayed by empty promises. He emphasized that meaningful progress can only be achieved by electing leaders who genuinely place their welfare of the people first.
Mwiskuru mama na wabe alesa mbena free education ele waya bika fambi nishimwana wo yopatira mwana chumpote tata ababa na tukwete eba kesa tusunga lele baka tusunga shani na bonga tawasambili shaba na wele sambili ya mahala na chilanga kapatulula awe kita chimwe byo mwana ya kuskuru ya mukumbe no musuka chwe mecho onse ya shabomba abombera bani nomba baba na mugombera inene na lekula kwalesanga tulea kusukulu kulesa mbilila bambia banandi batutanje kaliye kungana tamulita bambia banandi bali pelele sukulu tabakwishishe temula nduwa kwe batiko ko baliyo nindala mabishaku kwe bashakwe mayonga bana ndio kwa sambili leko pale sema mpira kwa pili tabatu letu tutankele kile kukula hapo maana tata Iliaka ingere shawa na beswele sambilila. Mukachanga basanka bakanabe. Lelo barabale niba wesu. Batu tumakusukulu batu tangia pande tulipi. Ebu wenugo. Awe. Bena babula bana babo pantu bakankala. Babatwala kuma sukulu aso. Ifo kwe balanda. Bana tutangisha bana bakano kwata detosu tige. Lelo chaka ingia shira vya ndefa mutumfishi. Abulo mwana wa mulanda no wana wa mukankala abalinganya. Amashindano yonse balemba ya moyene chena chibipa chobote busuma mwana wa mulanda na mwana wa mukankaranga na bika bana kusukulu bose ne baktu baba kansela bose mtu baba MP mtu baba meya chaka ingena bipapo chena patule chalo alinga nyoma wa mulanda no mwana wa mukankala lero chashira ichashalira ifwe ukutwala abana kusukulu ukubeba bayikatisha pantoka inde ali mwana wa mulanda afielwe munganda ya chani lelo ikatisha kwisukuru ile bakaunde bale mpelele ya free lelo ni president na muno muine akaingerala ndoko tumu Afrika teka nabeni muiwelele numa fira mwachira imba kuli bale batupokera masukuru bara tulipirisha muiwelele numa kuli bale kano kulalisha abana.
Mwansabombwe district in Luapula province is set to benefit from improved trading infrastructure following the ongoing construction of a modern market under the Zambia Devolution Support Program ZDSP with financial support from the World Bank. The project is expected to improve trading conditions, enhance business activities and promote local economic development in the district. In a statement issued by Mwansabombwe Town Council Acting Public Relations Public Relations Officer Josephine Kabaso, the local authority confirmed that the market project valued at 2,500,000 kwacha is being implemented by the council and is progressing as planned with strict supervision to ensure adherence to required building standards and timelines.
Kwena tuletotera sana kubuteeko bwesu abafyashi besu pa kutusakamana kubalangire nga bana maketi abatukulira maketi yano twale kwata obuchushi pamulandu n'okushitisha pamusanga kwatumwa kushitisha mali chepere nomba apa tuletotera n'abapangira maketi isuma kabiri ifulu yalalenga bonse tukwate nchende ya kushitisha pena ngo muntu nango umo uwakulata antipanshi nangulo kutantika panse bonse tulangira mu market kandi market iri sumero naifula bakonga nyempo abantu abafyashi besu mutima kutusakamana nga abana tuletera mu kwayi kubuteeko buleteka n'edu
ndaisisha mapineapple nempo na tomato muno Mwansabombwe abatukulira market kutilo kweba kwatwafuma muno panse apatule chula nakasuba nenfula twatukulira market mulya tutashapa kalamba sana patwala tampo kuingira mulya mu market nokulashisha no muchinshi
kumaina kuba na market banangi nzangwa mu tomato market na ono ni tapsala sana tuleta sho uteko bwesu ngobuliko pera market nga Mwansabombwe kuliraho bali market yao na hivi nomba na bakulira market ikulu yipya ekakile moneka bwe beta ntungulushi ngayiringa abachiro mwape nabo bene balombe pamono uteko netungushi yabo abibina mutima bakwete utali wakuleka batwalirire ngayifora maye twali bakutantike nomba batiresubira market yesu yalapwa umwe shule sabonse twalanira bonse balaitantika panse.
Come to Chinyanta Market, which is under construction in Mwansabombwe district, sponsored by the Zambia Devolution Support Program. The contract sum being 2,500,000, and the construction has reached an advanced stage. The contract period 18 weeks. We are in week 14. So what is remaining are the final touches of block work. Then the next stage will be roofing. After roofing, then we move to plastering, both interior and exterior. Then we'll do the floor, the terrazzo, and thereafter the minor works to deal with the drainage, the sewer, and so on. And we expect to finish on time. I'd like to thank all the citizens of Mwansabombwe for their patience and the support during, and it's expected that even after the structure is completed, they will continue to support the local authority. Thank you.
The Zambia National Economic and Social Welfare Association, ZANESWA, has commended the Ministry of Education for its intention to table the Free Education Policy Bill in Parliament this February, describing the move as a major step towards safeguarding access to education for all Zambian children. The association says enshrining the policy into law will help ensure continuity and protect the gains made since the introduction of free education. In a statement issued by ZANESWA Executive Director and Public Relations Manager Anthony Lupia, the organization welcomed the proposed legislation but cautioned that access to education must go hand in hand with quality.
The Zambia National Economic and Social Welfare Association, ZANESWA, commends the Ministry of Education for proposing to table the free education policy bill this February. As an organization mandated to strictly monitor national governance and ensure that the highest standards of integrity and social equity, ZANESWA views this bill as a critical conquest for the Zambian people. While the nation is elated by the ministry's announcement to enshrine the free education policy in the Constitution to ensure continuity, we as ZANESWA, with the undeniable facts that come with free education, such as overcrowding and limited teacher-student interaction time, limited sanitation facilities, significant shortages of desks and books, as well as laboratory facilities that lead to a decline in the quality of education and lower student performance and literacy levels. Despite the many challenges faced in the education sector, recognize that the 2025 examination results show pass rates of 71% for grade 7 pupils and 72% for grade 9 pupils, proving that our young learners are ready to lead. However, ZANESWA asserts that the academic success requires infrastructure and educational material investment to fulfill our mission of safeguarding Zambia's future. We present the following urgent demands. ZANESWA.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia has appealed to political stakeholders and voters across the country to embrace peaceful conduct as the nation prepares for the August general elections. ECZ Chairperson Mwangala Zalomis says Zambia can achieve a credible and violence-free election if political players emulate the calm and orderly campaigns witnessed in Chawama constituency. Ms. Zalomis was speaking to the media after touring several polling stations in the constituency ahead of voting, where she expressed satisfaction with the conduct of the electoral process and the level of preparedness on the ground. She noted that some polling stations had already recorded a positive voter turnout by the time of her visit. The ECZ chairperson further emphasized the need for continued peace, tolerance and respect for electoral laws before, during and after the polls, stressing that peaceful participation is key to safeguarding Zambia's democratic values.
Stories that cannot happen, and somebody goes to post to say the Electoral Commission was busy voting the whole night. I mean, was that person voting with us the whole night? And I've asked all the polling agents, they said, no, that's not true, because people are voting now. But those are the stories that ought to be dispelled. And it doesn't do any harm for you people even to say, no, this is not true. We're here, we've seen what's happening. I mean, how can anybody follow a media like that? Whether it's a TV or what, social media, how do you follow people like that? And we are all commenting, or we like it, or you don't like it, when you know that people are just telling lies. How can the whole Electoral Commission, spend the whole night voting? Unless if the person was voting with us the whole night. One, we're told that in the morning there were a lot of people that came. So far, most of them have gone to the third book. I'm sure you heard me saying, on which book are you? They're on the third book. That means they're up to 150, between 100 and 150. So we hope that by the end of the afternoon, more people will come. But traditionally, you've seen how people vote. Most come either in the morning or in the afternoon. So we hope that the skies being what they are today, it's true, it's favorable, that there will be more people coming to vote. Particular one. I think people expected it to be violent, isn't it? That was the expectation. Generally, they thought, the election in Chawama, But fortunately, I think through the intervention of the voter education department, our voter education department, they've been doing a good job to sensitize the issues, why people have to vote. And also that, when you have a difference of opinion, doesn't mean that you are enemies. You could belong to different political parties, but still be together. So we hope that going forward, even the next election, there will not be violence. Because really, we are not known as a nation for violence. We are known as people who use the ballot box to vote and also to express,
Government says Zambia remains firmly on course to achieve its target of producing 3 million metric tons of copper annually by the year 2031, citing ongoing reforms in the mining sector and growing investor confidence. Ministry of Mines and Minerals Development Permanent Secretary Hapenga Kabeta says the optimism is anchored on the revitalization of dormant mines, expansion projects by existing operators, and policy reforms aimed at creating a stable and attractive investment climate. He notes that increased copper production will not only position Zambia to meet rising global demand, but also play a critical role in accelerating economic growth and job creation. Dr. Kabeta was speaking in Lusaka on Thursday when United Nations Industrial Development Organization UNIDO project administrator Kinsko Vizi paid a courtesy call on him, during which the two discussed areas of cooperation, including environmentally sustainable mining practices.
From the perspective of the Minister of Mines, I think, as you correctly indicated, number one, we have a 3 million metric tons of copper target. We need to achieve that under whatever circumstances. Secondly, the traditional method of producing minerals and exporting them as raw, it is no longer tenable. We want value addition within the country, and naturally, as we do value addition, there are potential emissions that may also come along. So the methods of measurements, I think those are things that we shall be interested and be supportive.
Our goal is not only to reduce mercury from copper smelting processes, but also to help the copper industry in the country to meet its targets and to have added value in the country in the copper smelting processes. Based on my participation in the INSACA last year, I know that this is one of the main goal of the country, to not only to meet its targets for the international agreements, but also to have added value in the country. And this is where we would like to work together with you to find the best pathways for that. We would see the role of the Ministry of Mines as a guide to guide us in the adoption of the best available technologies and practices, support policy development, and ensure that the project outcomes support the national targets.
The $18 million Sakanya Mufulira Road and Border Infrastructure Project on the Copperbelt Province is expected to be fully completed by August this year, the contractor has disclosed. AVIC International, the contractor implementing the project under a public-private partnership PPP arrangement, revealed that construction works are progressing steadily and within schedule. Speaking through its business manager, Jack Wang, during a site visit by a government delegation led by Copperbelt Province Minister Elisha Matambo on Thursday morning, the contractor confirmed that the roadworks have been completed. Mr. Wang explained that although the roads are finished, the overall project currently stands at 52% completion, as works are still ongoing on the ultra-modern Sakanya border post facility. He further highlighted that the new border infrastructure will address long-standing challenges at the Zambian side of the border, particularly the lack of adequate truck parking space. Meanwhile, Copperbelt Province Minister Elisha Matambo expressed satisfaction with the progress made on the project, describing it as a transformative development for the border area. The minister said the modern facility will not only give the Sakanya border a new face, but will also significantly improve mobility, efficiency, and clearance of goods between Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Mr. Matambo further stated that President Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND government remain fully committed to restoring sanity at border areas by improving infrastructure, security, and operational efficiency. He emphasized that such development are key to enhancing swift trade, reducing delays, and ultimately increasing national revenue and profits through improved cross-border trade. The Ndola Sakanya Mufulira project is expected to play a critical role in boosting trade, easing congestion, and strengthening Zambia's position as a regional trade hub once completed.
Okay, first of all, I want to say that when we used to talk about this border post, that we are going to modernize it, and then we were talking about doing the road from Eucharist up to Freira. As usual, people thought we were joking. And I think from what you have seen, the road has been done already from Eucharist roundabout up to this place, which is 17 kilometers. And the infrastructure which is here, I'm sure you've seen, is reached an advanced stage. From what they have told us, by August, it will be completed. So this simply shows that President Hakainde Hichilema is working his talk in a lot of things, almost in all the sectors. The modernizing of this border post, as well as where we are going, Kasumbalesa, has given a new face to our district in Ndola and to our province. So it's important for the people to take a walk into the past and also compare and contrast what was there and what is here now and where we are going. This definitely will allow our traffic flow in terms of trucks and other vehicles crossing into our neighboring country. As you may see, that's our neighbors just there, the DRC. I think they worked on their border a bit earlier than us. But Mulanda took Dangira to Africa. I'm sure we'll have better infrastructure as well. You can see the buildings which are coming up. Where we also have a business center, that's like a mini mall. We will have a bank and other shops there as well. I've been told that we'll have more than 20 houses down that side for our officers who also had a problem. Every time they have to come from Ndola, most of them coming to come and work.
The government has urged sports administrators across the country to allow newly elected leaders in federations to carry out their work without interference. Minister of Youth, Sport and Arts Elvis Nkandu has warned that internal disputes and infighting risk undermining the progress of Zambian sports. Speaking during a medal presentation ceremony for various sports federations, Minister Nkandu criticized those who continue to sow confusion just months after leadership changes. He emphasized that federation presidents should be given the opportunity to implement their mandates, while those with concerns should focus on offering constructive support rather than engaging in disruptive conflicts. The minister stressed that such infighting has in the past stalled the growth of sports in Zambia and called for a collective effort to prioritize development and unity within the sector.
What have they done wrong? Give yourselves time. We should be preoccupied with issues of how are they going to deliver? How do we help them deliver? Not you vote today, tomorrow you start fighting. Ecclesiastes, I always refer 3 verse 1. John said to people, person, to tell what things done. Yeah, vote and what if every season is voting? Every season is fighting? Oh. So when you vote, let's assume you've made a mistake. Go with it until such a time. Why did you make that mistake? I'm not in that world myself. Those that you want to regret. When you make a decision on the data today, die with it, because you've made a decision. Not tomorrow, and the way you write application. 50, 60 pages. Gentlemen and women, let's wait. We don't have time to start much more. start them a fight. No, it's time to work. But I'm not saying that when someone does something wrong, cannot be reported. Let's report them. But please make sure that you give a chance to those that you've elected, let them work. I can feel nuevo.
Zanaco head coach Numba Mumamba has expressed disappointment after his team conceded 2 avoidable goals in their midweek Lusaka derby against Napster Stars. The result saw Napster Stars climb from 12th place on the league table, while Zanaco dropped from 3rd position.
Disappointing result that we didn't expect to see today. I think the NAPSA came to defend the entire 90 minutes, and we considered 2 silly goals, and that gave them the impetus to play and enjoy the game in the first half. In the second half, we came from the break. We played in their own half, but we did have a bit of patience where we needed to penetrate from the flank so that we can create scoring opportunities. Yes, we were forcing passes in the middle of the pitch, which resulted in so many breakdowns, and we've come out with a loss today, but this is a game that we couldn't have lost if we had applied ourselves according to the way we trained and the way we planned.
So this loss also puts a date on your position in the league. What is your message to the fans?
Yeah, of course, we've disappointed our fans, but this is how football is. We did not play to the expectation of everyone. All we need is just to get down to work, push our team so that we can make amends in the coming games that we have.
You have another game, I know. You'll be playing in the Changa. What area do you think you want to look at?
I think we need to improve in terms of distribution. That is where we lacked in this game. We had so many breakdowns instead of us taking the ball to the flanks. I think in AFSA we're defending deep in their own half instead of us trying to penetrate from the wings, but we didn't have that patience. So we need to work on our patience and the distribution from the midfield, getting the ball to the flanks so that we can easily penetrate and score and create scoring opportunities.
And if you were to turn around the score, what would you do different in the 90 minutes?
I think if we can only improve in our distribution, because that is where we did not do much in this case. We were too much in a hurry. Yes, we had so many enforced errors which the NAPSA capitalized, and they were doing a quick break. Whenever we lost the ball possession, they were doing a quick break and they looked better on a counter.
That ends the news, but if you missed, SEZ urges voters and political players to emulate Chawama's calm campaigns. Zaneswa praised move to table free education policy bill, cause for quality learning. Mulenga urges Kasama voters to choose leaders based on developmental record. Zedeme orders all fuel tanker trucks to comply with metrology verification rules. That's it on behalf of the news desk. My name is Kondwelani Jose. Good evening.
Muvi Christian Academy is a girls-only boarding school located near Sandy Beach in Siavonga. Muvi Christian Academy is now enrolling for Form 1 and Grade 10 pupils. So all girls who have just completed their Grade 7 and Grade 9 exams must take this opportunity to receive high-performance Christian-based holistic education. Help your girl child reach their full potential. Call 0976 386184. When you think girl child education, think Muvi Christian Academy. Muvi Christian Academy. Excellence through Christian